Well, week number 4 in our series, This Is How We Know. And I'm really enjoying this journey through 1 John. I hope that it's been helpful for you as well. And this particular week is one of those things that happen when we just decide to go through a book of the Bible from the beginning to the end. We come across something that we might normally skip over and not give a lot of time and attention to. But it turns out that it's actually absolutely crucial to the church, not only who John's talking to, but our church as well. So 1 John chapter 2, and starting in verse 18, John uses this phrase, "This is how we know it's the last hour," which is really John's way of saying, hey, listen, it's almost time to pack it up, everyone. The show is almost over. The end is near. Now, most people in Jesus' day, I believe, considered themselves to be living in the last days. In terms of the timeline of history, right, once Jesus was here on the scene, he was crucified, then resurrected, and then ascended back to the Father in heaven. It seems like we started this period that John is calling the last hour. Okay, everything's moving towards an end now. And John says how we know that it is that last hour is that many antichrists are on the scene. And the word antichrist, or the person, is literally what it sounds like. They are anti or against Christ. They stand opposite of everything that Jesus is. So they're anti-scripture, anti-truth, and their goal is to distract you and lead you another direction. As a matter of fact, two things that characterize an antichrist are that they deny Jesus and they intend to deceive people. And the interesting thing, and the really dangerous thing that John mentions here, is that this is not some kind of an outside threat to people, right? These people had been part of the church, but now they decided to walk away from it. Now, it's important to know that when you consider John's letter from beginning to end, he's actually going to group together what he is calling antichrists and false teachers. He kind of uses them in the same way and similar descriptions. What John's going to propose, though, is that rather than spend so much time on who they are and what they do and what you need to be on the lookout for, he just gives them a very simple reminder. Hey, listen, this is nothing new. Just make sure you know the truth and you're paying attention to the truth. See, when we know what's true, not what's popular, not what sounds right, not what we hope is correct, not our version of truth, but when we know what's true, we will more easily recognize what is false, which is why it's so absolutely crucial that you decide for yourself what you believe to be true, right? Which starts with Jesus. Is Jesus who he said he was? Did he actually do the things that he said he would do? Did he actually defeat death and rise to life again? Are the words contained in the Bible, right? What we hold in our hands as the scriptures, do they tell the truth? If so, it tells us the truth about life and death. It tells us the truth about who we are and who God is. It tells us the truth on what we can count on now in this life and in the future. And, John is saying, it is the best prevention against what is false. And we don't have a need for anything that promotes itself as new and improved over what we already have. Before you can remain in the truth, though, you need to know that you are in the truth. So make sure that you spend time in group to check out verse 23 for that test. And then keep filling your heart and your mind with that truth. Now, there's way more to be discussed here, I think, than you likely have time for. So let me encourage you to not get too sidetracked on who is the capital A Antichrist, and make sure you identify the ways we're tempted to believe less than what is really true.